Hi everyone, I have been missing for quite some time, and as you can see on the screen right now, it's because we had to put my little baby boy down. His name was Wrendt, which is the name of this video. These are just some pictures of him and me and him, and yeah, he was my baby. So we've had a rough couple of weeks, so my apologies for being missing, but hopefully I can turn this into a good thing. So I am making a canvas. I started making this canvas the day after we had to put my dog down. It was very unexpected. He was only 3 years old, and it was just some fluke accident. We don't even know how he got hurt. He just hurt his back, and there was no coming back from it. So I've been a huge mess for quite some time now, and yeah, so I'm trying to pick up the pieces, and I know this might sound melodramatic or overdramatic to some of you, but this dog meant a lot to me. So I started by gessoing this canvas, and I think it's about an 8 by 10, and I added a little bit of that green paint into the gesso, and it turned it too pastel for me. So I wanted to brighten it up, but I didn't want to start with paint, so I pulled out my Inktense. And I am using the green. I want to say it's leaf green. I'm not sure. They don't put the names on the Inktense blocks. It's on the back of the package. So, and I'm just spraying it with water and then using what drips off onto my craft sheet to color up the sides. And that big orange splotch in the middle, I dropped one of the orange Inktense on there, and just by it dropping it on there, it's now permanently on there. I was like, okay, well now I know where my photo is going. So yeah. So just adding Inktense here and there, and then I'll end up spraying it with water and getting it all drippy again. See, told you. And I'm not worrying too much about that splotch because, like I said, I figured I would just put my photo or something there. And pardon my voice, I woke up extremely late this morning. And I took the day off of work. It's Friday, and I slept until 10:30, which is not something I ordinarily do. So, ooh, I feel like a bum. I need to go get coffee, but I want this video to start processing. So then I took this gorgeous blue, and I don't know what color it is. I'm sorry. It's just part of my Inktense 12 set. I'm using the blocks again. And I'm doing the same thing, but on the opposite corner. And I wanted these two to run and drip into each other so that they started to blend and meld and mix. And I kind of got the effect I was going for. Not as much as if I would have used paint. You would have gotten really, really good drippy intermingly results. But the Inktense are semi-translucent. They're semi-opaque, I guess. They're kind of opaque, kind of not. So some of the drippies get covered up, but they end up blending really nicely together. So it's all good. And I did at least 2 layers of each color, and I was just trying to get some really good intense colors. Like I said, I made this canvas the day after we had to put my dog down, and I wanted this for my son. My son had a hard time with this as well, and so I made this in the colors of his room. He's got a Toy Story room, so yeah, that's where the color scheme came from. And this I used just a letter template as a stencil with London Blue Dilutions, and in the top left and bottom right corners I sprayed, and then I flipped the stencil over onto the bottom left and top right to get that reverse image. And right now I am using Smooch Spritz in, let's see, I'm pulling it out, Sea Kiss? Something, I don't know. They put the name right on the label where you break it, so we're gonna call it Sea Kiss. So yeah. Alright, so this is a stencil by 7 Dot Studio, I believe, and this is just a chevron shape, And I am using a green metallic paint. This metallic paint came in a set from Target. My best friend gave it to me when I went to California. And it comes with, I think, 6 different colors. And normally you think kids paint is going to be really translucent. It's not going to have like any body to it. But as you can see, that green that I squirted out right there, it's holding its shape pretty well. I'm actually really impressed with this paint. So go check out Target in the kids craft section. It's just generic. It just is called, I think, Shimmer Craft Paint, I think is all it was called. So and I am wrapping that stencil design around the edge. I lined up the stencil design on the front and then just wrapped the stencil around the side so that it looked like the design was continuous. And then since I had so much left over, I decided to spatter some of it onto my canvas. And this is the Tim Holtz Dot Fade. I don't know, I'm not positive. It's one of the Tim Holtz stencils. And I just used some white homemade spray acrylic, and it's just some watered down acrylic. This was the Honeycomb stencil by Tim Holtz with India ink in a spray bottle, and that did not go out so well. This stencil's too fine for that. So I ended up going in with a makeup sponge and some Donna Salazar mixed media inks in black. And then, because these are pigment inks and they stay wet, nice and wet for a long time, I put some clear sparkle embossing powder over it. And at first it looks like it got ruined, and then you heat emboss it, and it's like, oh, my voice is a mess this morning. Can you tell I have not had coffee? I'm going downstairs as soon as I'm done with this video editing, even though it's 12:30. Shh, don't tell my secret. So I did the same thing on this side. I don't show you the whole process because it's the exact same as what I just did. And here's the photo of my little guy that I'm going to use. And I'm just trimming that up a little bit. My sister was working with me this day. We all had a hard time because this dog meant a lot to us. And so my sister was with me, and she was making a similar canvas. She was kind of following along, doing some of the stuff I was doing with different colors and some different products. And so I'll show you a picture of her canvas at the end. So this is washi tape, and I like tearing washi tape down the middle. It just gives it some different dimensions, some different lengths. You can use the same washi tape, but give it a different look just by tearing it. And I'm just going in with some greens and some blue and a little bit of that black and white chevron. And some of these tapes are not very sticky, and I'll address that momentarily. So I am adding score tape to the back of the photo, and anytime you see tape that says Soo Kwang on it, SOOKWANG, no matter how it's marketed, it's all the same stuff. So yeah, that Soo Kwang tape is amazing. It sticks to everything, and it is super sticky. It's perfect for mini albums. So if you like making mini albums, you have to have score tape. It's great. Like I said, it's called different things in different places, but the tape itself, the backer, always says Soo Kwang on it. So yeah, good stuff. These are letter stickers from Michaels, and I am just spelling out our sweet, and then eventually I'll end up putting boy underneath, right where it's at. But the letters weren't sticking because, surprise, there's all these layers of, ink tints and spray inks, and there's even some spray acrylic, and those chevrons are glittery because I embossed them. So I used some soft matte gel, and in hindsight, probably not the best idea. Probably should have used just a little bit on the back, or just hot glued them down, because the soft matte gel ends up making the shimmery hexagons not so shimmery because it's matte. But it's going in my kid's room. This was really more therapy for me than it was anything. So it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, the first night I gave it to him, he said he wanted to go spend the night in his room, or he wanted to go upstairs for a little bit to be with Rent, and yeah, so that was hard. We got him as a puppy from a puppy store, which yeah, I know. Save all of your puppy stores are bad. Yeah, they are bad, but they exist, and you know what? The dogs there need help too. So until someone does something about shutting down puppy mills, I don't want to hear it. So just do yourself a favor and not comment about that. So yeah, because I agree, puppy mills are horrible and the dogs are treated horribly. But you know what? In the meantime, puppy stores exist, and those poor dogs. When we got our dog, he was so sick. It took like 2.5 weeks of medications just to get him better. So yeah. So save your speech, give it to someone else, and don't tell me I didn't love my dog just because I paid a lot of money for him, like an idiot. So that's my rant on that. And my dog, my kid named my dog before we even got him. He said, I want a dog, because he wanted a brother or sister. And he was, let's see, my kid's 7. My dog was 3.5. So my kid would have been about 4. 3 or 4, and he was like, I want a dog, and I want him to be a boy, and his name will be Rent. And we're like, we cannot name a dog Rent. Like, that's just not a name. It's a musical. That's what you pay to a landlord. So we got his name tag, and it was spelled R-E-N-T, and we just could not do it. So we went back into PetSmart and renamed him W-R-E-N-D-T, so it sounded a little bit more, or it looked at least a little bit more like a name. So yeah. So that's that, and I'm just making some embellishments now with some wood veneers. This one is a Studio Calico, and it says The Sweetest Thing. So I colored it with tumbled glass distress ink, just took the pad straight to it, and then I'm taking my Molotov white marker and I'm writing on the etched part where it says The Sweetest Thing, and the and thing are going to be white, and sweetest is going to be black. I'm going to use a pit pen. And then I'm going to use some, what's the name of that? Wow Studio chipboard, and I'm going to use my Molotov white marker again to color those up, and then emboss them with UT, which will make them look like enamel. So let's see, anything else? I'm still kind of a mess. I went, I think, 2 or 3 days this week without crying, which is good. But yeah, I'm still a mess, and everyone keeps saying, "Well, you need to get another dog." No, I mean, I know that people say no, they can't get another dog, never again. But really, seriously, I cannot go through this again. This has been like devastating. So, I went and got his. When they gave us back everything, after everything was said and done, they gave us a paw print, and I took that to a tattoo shop and had his paw print and his name tattooed on my torso, on my left-hand side by my heart. So yeah, I can't get another dog because I don't want all these paw prints all over me. I just want the one. So anyway, sorry this has been like a not overly happy video, but at least you know what I've been up to while I've been gone, and I've wanted to get in here and get stuff made and get stuff out, and even just to put a blog post up, but I haven't had it in me. Plus, on top of everything, I've been dealing with midterms and all that jazz. So on the bright side, I got A's on both of my midterms. So hooray! I look at it this way: I can seriously get an F on my final in my upper division sociology class, which is the only class I need to graduate. My other class I just took just to take it, and I can still graduate. So as long as I show up and kind of pay attention, I'm good to go. So come on, May and graduation. So I am taking a chevron stamp. I think this was a Studio G stamp, and I just mounted it to my archival ink lid. And I'm just stamping in archival ink just a couple places, just to point toward the picture, kind of mimic those enameled book pieces. So, and I think that finishes up the canvas. There it is. Those green shiny chevrons are really pretty in person. The shimmer, you can kind of see it dulled there, but that's okay on those hexagons, but it's still pretty. And we have something to always remember my baby boy. And yeah, so that's good. And I got through this without crying. So this was my sister's canvas that she made. She called him Dogger. So there you go. So new video coming soon, I promise. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.